Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the What Was That podcast. I'm Jazzy.
And I'm Addi.
So Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Don't worry, we do have a special episode coming just for that. And everyone is really getting in the mood.
It's cold outside. You get a nice fire going, light some candles, put on something a little more comfortable.
And just like that, a million Scorpios appear.
Ooh, that's terrifying.
Scorpios and babies. Children! I was like, oh.
Okay, I'm genuinely getting scared.
But the kids or the Scorpios?
Both. Kids are terrifying.
Kids do say the darndest things. Story one. Sorry, I'm going to be eating my donut. It's really good. It's maple. What do you want me to do?
Dopamine.
Leave it?
Dopamine.
Yeah, I need it. There's one thing I learned I needed in life. It's dopamine and serotonin. Dear God. Story one. Kids are scary. My son, 7 now, has suffered from night terror since he's been about 2 years old. They're pretty weird. It's like he's there, but he's not. He can never remember them, not even immediately after he actually wakes up. He appears completely awake and lucid through the whole ordeal, just upset, but he's not actually conscious. He'll respond to questions and stuff, but it's like he's on autopilot or something. One night, we heard him having one. My wife and I went up to be with him and comfort him. He had made his way from his bedroom to ours. We found him on our bed and upset, crying about who knows what. Out of nowhere, Luke stops crying and grins, then starts to giggle. What are you laughing at, Luke? He giggles again and raises his arms and points out of our bedroom door. What are you pointing at, buddy? Another giggle, and then he says, the boy behind the door. Holy fuck. Night terrors are freaky. Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister used to have them a lot when she was little, and it was so... Because, like, also at the time, Paranormal Activity was really big.
Mm-hmm.
So me and all my friends would, like, watch a movie, and my sister would wake up screaming her little head off, and she'd be staring at the corner and just being like, it's gonna get me. And we're like, what's gonna get you? Like, what is here?
Yeah.
There was one night, I think the funniest nightmare that she ever had, she was sick and had a fever. And so my mom went to go check on her, and she's just, like, thrashing about it. She's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And my mom's like, what can't you do? I can't bake the cake. Apparently, she was having a cake boss nightmare.
Oh, incredible. You know, if I had cake boss nightmares instead of, like, the nightmares that I have now, I think I'd be a much better person.
Oh, yeah. She's pretty solid.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. Like, I asked her, like, because she's an adult now, I think one of her night terrors that was reoccurring was something to do with spiders, just, like, spiders everywhere, big spiders. She watched a lot of Harry Potter as a kid, so that could be...
Yeah.
Could be where that came from. Yeah, night terrors? Freaky little things. Because, like, how do you know if it's... Because kids are more susceptible
Exactly.
to seeing things. So what's the line between, oh, it's just a spooky night terror versus... Maybe there was a boy behind the door. I don't know. Who's to say?
And who's to say that little boy didn't know that he was having night terrors and came to comfort him?
Mm-hmm. Or... steal his soul.
I was like, where are we going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, like, to bring up Bettina in this episode, she has a family member who will kind of invite things in, and it always comes in the form of a little girl because she has 3 little girls, and it's not anything that's nice. It's never actually the spirit of a little girl. So I'm always very sometimes it is just like the ghost of a kid.
Yeah.
But I'm always extra apprehensive. I'm like, are you really?
Yeah.
Are you something else?
Exactly. They always come in the most, like, what's the word I'm thinking of?
I don't know. I was just like, yeah, maple donut.
The like purest, innocent. They always come in the most innocent forms because they want people to invite them in thinking that they're innocent.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not. They're actually a 6,000-year-old demon named Beelzebub.
Right. I went on a ghost tour in Charleston, and he's like, that's why you're not supposed to pet cats or touch animals in graveyards.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they'll like come as like a really cute little creature, and like everyone wants to pet a little stray cat.
Yeah, especially if it walks right up to me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pet that cat.
Yeah, and he's like, that's how it. Because like most of the tour was like silly, goofy, historical time, and then we got to a graveyard, and there was a cat. He's like, don't touch it.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah.
little tidbit, take that. Don't touch cats in graveyards or like squirrels, dogs, any of that.
I've never touched a squirrel before. I would love to. I would love to have the chance.
It's like too rodent-y for me. I don't like it.
I love squirrels. They're so cute. Have you ever watched Over the Hedge?
I have watched over. You know what? Yeah.
You get like a hammy.
Yeah.
Coming up to you. That's
See, they're cute in theory, and then I look at them a little too long. I'm like, you're too rat adjacent.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which you think my dating history would be different with my aversion to rats.
Ooh, do you see a visceral reaction?
They all look like the guy from Flushed Away. They do.
Story 2. The weird kid in school followed me home. This happened back when I was in the 6th grade. The kid in question, Arya, used to ride the same bus as me. He was quiet and reclusive, except for a few times that he'd chuckle to himself or sometimes at a joke someone made. I never really interacted with him much. He was also older than me, studying in the 9th grade. Because of the way our bus route worked, I was the last to get off with another little girl. We lived in the same neighborhood. Arya got off 5 or 6 stops before me. However, this one day, he didn't get off at a stop. He gave the driver some excuse and said he needed to get off near my stop. People did that quite often, so I didn't really think too much of it. I noticed that Arya changed his seat to sit right behind me. I continued to read my book, but I couldn't help but shake this feeling that he was really, really close to me. Being the awkward kid I was, I didn't turn around to check or anything. I just sat there uncomfortably, trying to get back to reading, but I couldn't. After 15 minutes, we reached my stop. I was relieved to finally get off the bus because I had already started getting the creeps from Arya. The little girl got off and ran to her mother, who had been waiting for her. I turned to wave to the bus driver goodbye, as usual, but the expression on his face wasn't the usual warm smile. He gave me a nod and drove off, and as the bus moved, I saw Arya standing there at the mouth of the lane of my neighborhood just staring at me. I asked him what he was doing, and he said nothing in return. I figured he didn't hear me because of the distance between me and him. I started walking home, which was about 6 houses down. I still felt weird, though, so I turned to look, and he was there. But he had come forward. His gaze never left me. By this point, the confrontational side of me took over. I asked why he was there and what work he had there as I walked back to him. And then he gave me a smile. I've always wanted to see you naked. I just stood there, not knowing what to do. I threatened to call the security of our neighborhood, but he wouldn't budge. I saw one of the security guards walking about and turned to call out to him. By the time he started walking towards us, Arya had already been running out of the lane. I know this could have been a prank, and I would have thought so too, but Arya was just not the kind of kid who pranks other people. I traveled in that bus with him for a half a year more before leaving. He'd give me the occasional weird stares, but he knew not to mess with me.
Fuck that kid.
Yeah.
Beat that kid up.
That's a weird kid.
Not that I should be advocating for like beating kids up, but if you're another kid,
child,
beat that kid up. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
I think it'd be funny too if a 6th grade girl beat up a 9th grade boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so freaky.
No, I mean, we see it time and time again in movies of kids, because you constantly think, and in real life too, you see it in the media, but you think all the time, you're like, oh, kids are innocent, they're not going to actually do that, right? Like, they're not actually going to go so far that they would, like, assault somebody or, like, kill somebody, but
Right.
it happens so much. I mean, we saw it with, like, the Slender Man killing.
Right.
We
Right.
see it all the time with, like little
What was
boys,
that
like,
girl's name? There's a girl, she had very distinct eyebrows who like basically messaged a kid into
into, like,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, we see it all the time, and it's like, it's really weird because there's this like line, I think, that doesn't click with them that it's real.
Yeah.
Like, their brain doesn't connect the fact that this person is actually going to like endure long-term harm or possibly die from their actions. It doesn't
Right.
like lock into their brain. It's like some sort of joke to
Right.
them or some sort of weird fantasy that they're fulfilling.
Right. Did you watch the show Adolescence?
No.
It's very, very interesting. And like everything you just said, very along the line of that because it follows the arrest and then about a year after of a 13-year-old boy. And he's accused of killing a girl in his class. And so it follows the parents a little bit. Also, like, just from a TV's perspective, part of it that's really cool is it's all filmed in one shot.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, every episode is one entire shot. So the scene transitions, it's like starts to follow another person. So that part's very cool. But it kind of like you said, it kind of goes through this kid's head of not really understanding the full consequences of their actions.
Yeah.
And knowing that, okay, yes, it's supposed to be bad, but not really, it doesn't click how bad what they just did was.
They, like, killed somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like it's a baby, like, throwing a spoon off of a high chair.
Mm-hmm.
You're testing it and you're testing it, but the stakes are much higher.
Yeah.
Because you don't understand what you're doing.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, it comes with like full brain development until you can like realize what you're doing. And I do think, I mean, there's obviously a point when you become a teenager that it starts to like make more sense. You should know better. And not to be this person, but I do feel like exposing your kids to violence and like if you're like a dad and you're playing GTA 5 around your kids and you're like, hey, kid, watch me kill this person in broad daylight and then outrun the cops. Like that in their impressionable brain, when they're 6, 7, 8 years old, they're like, oh, it's a video game. Mm-hmm. What if I do that in real life? Like, what happens? Because they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know, like, when I kill somebody, that means that, like, they're dead forever.
Right.
They don't know that, like, when I kill somebody, that is, like, traumatizing somebody for the rest of their, like, their parents for the rest of their life. I could go to juvie for the rest of my life. Like, they're not processing that full, like, consequence, like, action reaction kind of thing. They're seeing something on a screen and they're like, what happens if I did that in real life?
Right.
And I mean, because kids are curious. That's what kids do. Like, they're constantly trying things out. They're constantly doing new things that, like, the whole point of being a kid is to, like, learn new things and experience new things and see how the world works. And you do that by trial and error.
Right.
So, like, not to be that person, but I feel like there is, like, a line when people were like, it's the media. I feel like there is obviously like a good amount of truth to that. And there's again a point where it's like your brain should be developed enough that you know the difference. Like when you're a teenager, you should know that if you kill somebody in a video game, that's not the same as real life.
Yeah. Did I tell you about the freaky twins I had in my preschool class?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. They were very, very, they looked like two little ill Victorian children. Mm-hmm. And they would say some of the weirdest shit. They would talk about chopping heads off. And one of them, we were supposed to be taking a nap during nap time, and he never slept. And I was like, that's fine. You can play with a toy. You can read a book. But, you know, we have to be quiet.
Yeah.
And I look over at him, and he's like this. Like, hands around his neck. And I'm like, oh, my God, he's, like, choking on a Lego or something. So I run over, and I'm like, are you okay? Like, trying to figure out what's going on. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. So he's just sitting there choking himself.
He just wanted to see what would happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's fair. When I was a kid, and this is probably not like the best thing to say because this doesn't bode well for my dad, which I don't really give a fuck. But when I was like in middle school, it was in that era where everyone was like trying to make themselves pass out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everybody was seeing trends of like, if you, oh God, what was it? It was like, if you like jump up and down and like touch your toes, you come back up and you like spin around and you have somebody like pick you up and like strangle you essentially. And that's where like all the stuff before was just like the frills and ribbons. Like it doesn't actually do anything but make you out of breath. And then you have somebody pick you up and compress your chest so you can't breathe.
Yeah.
And that's where the passing out comes from.
Yeah.
And I knew a lot of people who had like done it and they're like, it's so fun.
Yeah.
So I was like with my dad, and he was at like we hung out at his friend's house a lot because they had kids, and we would all like hang out together. And I was like, "Hey, I want to do this thing. Can you do it?" Because I'm like, "You're strong. You can pick me up and make me pass out."
Right.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So my dad, I do the whole thing. I do the whole rigmarole. I'm like running around, jumping, I'm doing the thing. He picks me up and he like compresses my chest so tight, and I black out.
Oh,
obviously, like
yeah.
I black out, fall to the ground, and I like wake up. And he's like, "That what you want, a kid?" I'm like, "Yeah." That was scary.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's absolutely, it's wild that was a trend.
It's wild that was a trend. Wild that my dad would participate.
Wild that your dad was like, "Sure, kid.
I'll strangle you. Why not?
Yeah. What else we doing?"
Yeah.
You know?
So, yeah, just little things, you know, you have to like figure it out for yourself. And
The cinnamon challenge. Speaking of challenges that shouldn't have been
Tide
done.
Pod challenge.
That was a challenge.
Yes, 2020, I think it was when it was big on TikTok. It was like, and that's when everything went real south, guys. When TikTok got a hold of everyone, and challenges became way more frequent. I mean, we had like planking and the cinnamon challenge and all of that, but those are like,
that's like
semi-harmless.
Yeah.
The cinnamon challenge is a little bit, it's broaching the line because it can
scar your lungs.
Yeah, it can get pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
But
me, a millennial. Now, why the fuck would you eat a Tide Pod? Go
Yup.
back to planking.
Yeah, no.
What, like, worst case scenario, we all were just, like, ripped and had abs? Like, darn it. Fuck me for wanting to live a life with a nice washboard ab. Like,
Yeah, no, these kids were straight up popping Tide Pods into their mouths and chewing them. And, like, all media outlets were like, "Hey, don't do that." For a while, they started locking Tide Pods up, like, in stores behind plexiglass because they were like, "You can't buy these."
I thought it was just the toddlers. Toddlers, I totally get it.
Nope. Children.
Willingly just...
Yep. Kids do the
Dumbass
darndest
kids.
thing.
Those are some dumbass kids.
Yeah, it's also like, not to completely, because obviously we're not parents, but I
Right.
feel like as a parent, you gotta
As someone who was a former child.
have a better hold on that, man.
Right.
You gotta like see better. And same thing with like parents giving their children complete supervised access to YouTube or TikTok.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Or like just the full internet. I don't think
Roblox,
my mom
like-
definitely did not supervise my sister on the internet.
My mom didn't supervise. Sorry, Mom. We were in my room in 8th grade, 7th grade, like on Omegle, flipping through different dicks. Like, you were thinking, we're like, "Oh, that one's got a little bit of a curve. Oh, that one's really small. That one's really hairy. Oh, here's an actual person that we can talk to. Oh, they want us to show our tits. Okay, next."
Yeah.
Constantly going through Omegle or like, what was it? Chatterbait.
Yeah.
It was that. Gabby and I last night were talking about, she was streaming and she started talking about it. We started talking about what is it? IMVU.
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
IMVU, what was the other one that we were talking about? Woobsy.
I don't know that one. I did. I wonder if it still exists. It was like Gaia Online.
Yeah, I did all of them. Like,
Nice.
all of the different little like avatar chat rooms that you could do. I was in there.
Yeah.
And there was a time period where
It still exists.
there was a time period where my dad was like, because I didn't live with my dad, I lived with my mom, and my dad was like, "Oh, if you get on IMVU," little did you know I was already on it. But he's like, "If you get on IMVU, like we can hang out together and we can like talk. It'll be like we're in the same room, but we're actually not."
Yeah.
And so he would like give me credits to like personalize my character. I was in there buying all of those little poses that you could do, all of the like the make out, like all of the sexual stuff. And then like the second that I had like time to myself, I was like in a room with who knows how many adult people being like,
Right.
asterisk kiss, asterisk kiss, asterisk going in. not appropriate for a child to do.
No.
And it's like not.
See, if you let kids, they're gonna do it.
If you let kids, they're gonna do it. And like in my mom's case, like my mom worked a ton, and because she was a paramedic, so she was like she had to be in the office, so she wasn't able to like, you know, she's a single mom. She wasn't able to like supervise what I was doing on my computer, and she's like, oh, like you're smart. Like last night, me asking her, what did you do? Like, what did I do that was crazy? She's like, you were too smart. You didn't do anything like scary. I'm like, yeah. I didn't do anything.
Not anything at all.
You
know.
Sorry, Mom. But it was stuff like that. Like they're formative years of your childhood, and I know like a lot of it has to do, especially in like my circumstance, like there's a lot of like trauma that I had like before then that like had me seeking that like sort of validation. And same like into my like later teenage years, like lashing out like with drugs and alcohol and sex and all of that stuff. Like there's like a lot of stuff that happens in the meantime that is of no fault to a parent. So like there nobody is like, no one person can be blamed for everything, right? So like in cases like the Slender Man killing, like those parents can't be completely blamed for what happened. However, like there is a portion of it that you're like, hey, could you have like paid a little
like
closer
what
attention?
else?
Like were there signs that you refused to look at? Were there things that you like turned a blind eye to because you were like, oh, I trust my kid? And I think like in this circuit, I'm like, you can't have blind trust in a child.
No,
you can't.
No,
you cannot have blind trust in a child. They are figuring out the world. Their brains aren't like completely formed. Their consciousnesses these aren't formed. Like they're dumb.
I'm telling you, if you like these stories, go watch Adolescence. It's heavy, but like it goes into the parents being like, could we have done, like, what could we have done? Like, they have 2 kids, you know, one's not killing girls in their class, one, you know, so.
And I'm sure like my mom, and maybe, and Mom, if you listen to this, maybe you can chime in here. But I'm sure my mom kind of feels the same way, because for me, growing up, my sister and I had very, very similar childhoods, right? Like we grew up in the same household, we grew up in the same environment, we went to the same schools, like we're a year and a half apart, so it wasn't like there was like a drastic difference. But for me, I went crazy in quiet. Like I was straight A's in school, graduated with a 4.0 GPA, like I graduated early, top of my class, like I did everything I needed to do. But in the background, I was snorting everything that I could. I was drinking all the time. I was smoking everything that I could. Like, I was absolutely insane. But I made sure I got all my shit done. That wasn't, like, terrorizing anyone, right? Like, I wasn't, like, going out. However...
You were terrorizing yourself, not everyone else.
On the flip side, my sister... Like, same upbringing, same things, like, happen. I mean, obviously, there are, like, different traumas that we endured by different people. But she went off the deep end in an entirely different way earlier than I did. So, like, around 14, it was, like, steep drop-off, like, holding knives to me and my mom, threatening all of our family that she was going to, like, kill us in our sleep, like... Didn't go to school. When she did go to school, she wouldn't go to class. Like, was trying to, like, take drugs in the bathroom at school. Like, it was a drastic difference. And it's like those kind of things like that you can't help. Like, that's like, where did that shift go? Because the environment was the same.
Like, it just comes down to the individual.
You know? It just comes down to, like, chemical wiring, like brain wiring. Like, she has a plethora of things, amount of demons that she's dealing with that, like, aren't something that she can help, you know, that she has to be, like, medicated for. And it sucks. And it sucks that, like, there are, like, 2 different sides of the spectrum. And I'm sure it sucks, like, in my mom's perspective. Like, how did I do this with one child and do the same thing with the other, but they turned out completely different?
Right.
And Yeah, I wonder how that like feels for her, like as a mother.
Yeah, because I know just like in general, like a lot of the parenting advice, you can't blanket it because kids are
They're
so
so
individual,
different.
so
Yeah.
different, and their needs are so different.
Just like people. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
kids are people.
Yeah.
They're just little people. So it's
Yeah.
like just like how you and I are different. Like
Mm-hmm.
every single kid on earth is different. No
Right.
no kid is the same, even if they are raised in the same exact environment.
Right.
So even twins, like there are twins that are
Drastically
drastically different.
Yeah.
Granted, there are twins that are the exact same, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I just keep thinking about those freaky little twins. Oh my God. Yeah.
Child twins would freak me out, especially if they were like.
Hi, Miss Jasmine.
There was one time they were like, oh, like, can I have a hug? And I was like, sure. That's so cute. Look at you. Literally grabbed me by my hair, pulling me down on the ground, scratching me. My co-teacher was just watching it happen. And I'm like, yo,
Help me.
hello, I'm being
Help.
attacked.
Help.
I was like, are they 3 and this big? Yes. I'm being attacked.
Yeah.
Because like,
You can't, of them.
you can't fight them off.
Yeah, you can't hit a kid.
God forbid I fucking fight off a 3-year-old, but they were attacking me.
Yeah.
Story 3. Creepy things my 3-year-old said. I wonder. I'm always writing these down. Here's a few. Someday I'll have a farm and I'll have some animals like rats and some mice. Okay. I'll have a little pecker chicken with a little pecker thing and he'll pecker my head and make a hole and it will tickle.
Oh, God.
Visiting a friend's new baby, my son's first words were, when will that baby die?
Oh, God.
I have a clip to send you. Pause. There's like a mom who's like announcing that she's pregnant to her kids. And the little boy, he's trying to be sweet. He's like, I hope this one doesn't die like the last one.
Bro, this is why I'm not having kids.
I was like, buddy, like me too. Let's not.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, some things we keep inside of our heads. Okay.
Yeah.
This is one of those.
Objectively, it's a nice thought. How do you explain
Yeah.
it? You know, like, yeah, I also hope the baby. What the fuck? Okay, continuing the story. I was watching my son play with his trucks on the floor and smiled and said, I love you. He responded, I love you too. I actually don't feel like killing you right now.
No, that one would get me. That one would get me. I'd be like, oh, hey, buddy, let's sit down. When do you feel like killing
Yeah.
me? And what are these thoughts that like run through your head?
Yeah.
What comes up in
Yeah.
here? What kind of
Yeah.
emotion?
Yeah, like what does killing mean to you?
Yeah.
What is that?
Are you like gonna hold me down in my sleep and stab me in my throat?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna kill me in Minecraft?
Right. Mhm.
What are we talking about
Yeah.
here?
Do you know what killing does?
Yeah.
Let's dive into because
Because mommy
Actually,
won't
what
be
the
around
fuck?
anymore.
Yeah. When my son was much younger, he would talk about the woman who lives in our wall and say that she misses her family. Okay. We'd find him upstairs with a pile of blankets just laying there, and he said he was laying down with the lonely woman.
No, that's sad. That's really creepy, but that's really sad.
I hate that.
That makes me think of the Beldam
Oh,
from Coraline.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like the other mother, you know?
yeah.
She's like, I'm so lonely. I don't have my babies anymore, and you're here, and you could keep me company.
I'd be like, hey, buddy, have you ever seen buttons like this before? Did the lonely woman show you these buttons?
Did she ask to put them on you?
Mm-hmm.
You should say no.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it.
You like having eyeballs?
You like mommy, right?
Mm-hmm.
This mommy, not
Mhm.
mommy with buttons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd be like, hold these up. What do you see? Nothing. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you want to see for the rest of your life? I don't think so.
Mhm. Yep. Nope.
Yeah,
That's a freaky little kid.
that'd be scary. And see, these are all like valid reasons. The girl with the list, she needs to add these.
Right.
There's all the reasons for like your own body, like a woman's body. Like your nipples can pop off, your nipples can bleed,
Yeah.
your nipples
You
can
can
explode.
get armpit nipples.
You
Did you
can-
see that?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently in humans, you know how animals have like a row of nipples? humans also kind of have a nipple line. It's like armpits and it goes like down your torso. So when women get pregnant, sometimes some of these nipples crop up. So there's one woman who has like an armpit nipple. People were asking, they're like, hey, I don't want to be weird. Can you milk it? It's like very Meet the Fockers. Like, I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? There's been like people talking about like other nipples on their abdomen. I think someone said like a leg nipple. And hers like it was like a boob in her armpit. She's got a like.
Yep. So
Yeah.
there's that.
I feel like they don't tell you that because they want us to keep having babies.
They want you. They don't. That's why the girl with the list exists.
Yeah.
She's like, you can tear your vagina wide open.
Yeah.
Your nose will never go back to the same. You can get diabetes out of nowhere. You can get all of these random diseases out of nowhere. Like there are so many reasons
Yeah.
why not to have a child.
Adopt, don't shop.
Yeah.
Right? That works for kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it does.
Shopping
sure.
for kids.
People do shop for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, rich people buy babies from China all the time.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you
Is
see
that
that?
adopt?
Huh? I mean, yeah, you adopt them still, but I saw some person like on TikTok the other day talking about this girl who's she's Chinese American. This is like going in a political direction, not an adoption direction.
Okay.
But she like is she's Chinese American and she's like super MAGA, like insanely MAGA, and it's because
Okay.
she has two white Republican parents who adopted her from China.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, "This is the problem with like white people adopting babies from other cultures.
Yeah.
They're like, it's great in some instances when it's done right and they embrace their heritage and
Right.
they like raise them to embrace their heritage. But in this case, like they're completely whitewashing
Right.
this woman, and she's like neglected her entire heritage." And he was like, she should be thankful to be here and like not in a MAGA way because she would have been tossed in a trash can in China.
Yeah. Like, girl, what?
And I was
That's
like,
wild.
that's crazy to say on the internet.
Obviously, I know it's not the same place, but my brain is so rotted that the first thing I thought was, I hate Vietnam. You know that clip?
No.
Oh my God, it's from Modern Family.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. Lily's adopted, and they're like trying to like introduce her to her heritage and,
Yeah.
you know, really help her connect. And she just keeps going, I hate Vietnam. So I imagine this girl's being like, I hate China. And they're like, maybe we stop.
No,
Stop. saying
They would absolutely, because her parents are very MAGA.
Yeah.
So they'd be like,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
fuck communist China.
Yeah. No, it's insane to like adopt a child from another race or to have a child that is mixed race and be like, yeah, I'm racist.
Yeah.
I'm going to double down on it. Like, I guess you're one of the good ones, but fuck the rest of y'all.
Yeah. It's like the parents, like white parents who adopt babies from like African countries. Like, they're like, oh, now you're a white baby. But
Yeah.
you're very clearly black.
Yeah.
We're going to whitewash you to all hell. So that way you can't be accepted in any community.
Yeah. I had a friend who I think she like met this family through like church or something. I don't know how she met them. But they had adopted or they were fostering a little black girl and it was a white family and they didn't know how to do her hair. So they're like, yeah, we were just thinking about just cutting it off. And my friend is like,
Abuse.
I will do her hair. Do
Yeah.
not cut this little girl's hair off. Like,
Yeah.
because you don't know how to do it.
That's abusive.
Figure it out. Go to YouTube University. Figure it out.
Just go to a hairstylist that specializes in that type of hair. Like,
We're in Junction, Colorado. There's not any.
that's fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, but
Get on
still,
YouTube.
Get on YouTube
For free.
Yeah.
You know what? You
not
can figure it
that
out.
hard.
It's not. If you know what to do,
Yeah.
you can do it.
If you care enough, you'll do it.
Right.
It's like that.
Why do
that's
you
all
have that
it comes down
child?
to.
You should care about them the same way you would care about any other child.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Story 4. So this is actually not one story. This is a plethora of stories from a Ask Reddit
Okay.
subreddit called Parents of Reddit, What is the creepiest thing your child has ever said to you? So I went through and pulled quite a few really creepy good ones. I'm sure there are a ton more in the subreddit, but like there are thousands of comments.
Mm-hmm.
Let that sink in for how much we've been talking about this episode. There are thousands of comments of parents talking about creepy things that their kids have said, and they get weird. So we'll start with the first one. I was tucking in my 2-year-old. He said, "Goodbye, Dad." I said, "No, we say goodnight." He said, "I know, but this time, it's goodbye." I had to check on him a few times to make sure he was still there.
Goodbye forever.
Goodbye. So that's the first one. We're starting off nice and light, you know?
Oh, that's like
It's a little
cute.
creepy. It's not too bad. It's one of those things where it's like, okay.
No, it's
she
weird,
learned a new
buddy.
word today.
Yeah.
While changing our daughter in front of the open closet door, she kept looking around me and laughing. I asked her what was so funny. She said, "The man." To which I replied, "What man?" She then pointed at the closet and said, "The man with a snake neck." I turned around and nothing was there. I was afraid to look in the history of my house to see if anyone hung themselves in the closet. At least she wasn't scared.
Bent neck, lady ass kind of story. That's freaky.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Kids can see that shit. So
Yeah.
like, I would not put that past it. My coworker's 4-year-old daughter always thought the rattling of the water pipes in the kitchen cupboards were white wolves, and the sound would always scare her. One day, she was sitting at the kitchen table and said, "Mom, white wolves aren't bad. They're our friends." Her mom encouraged the idea by saying, "Yes, the white wolves are protecting us. They're our friends." Then her daughter added in, "They're our friends, but not the man who crawls on the floor and stands by my bed."
Oh, what thing? Maybe I don't want kids. I'd be like, what?
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Cameras
I
everywhere.
need to install cameras in every inch of your room now. Okay. That's what I'm hearing. I also need to hire a priest to come in and bless the house. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm hearing. So
Mhm.
that's great. Okay.
I'm like, how does he crawl? Like, I don't want to know, but I kind of need to know.
Yeah. This is very important information.
Is it
for
like
this
kind of
story.
upside down, or are we just like,
Is he slithering like a
normal?
snake?
Yeah.
Is he like a dog?
is he a shadow? Like, what are we
Yeah.
talking about?
Does he have full facial features?
Mm-hmm.
I work in a preschool. Creepy shit gets said and done all the time. The one thing that sticks out happened last year. There's a small kitchenette area in our classroom that the kids use during their free time for playing house or whatever pretend games they think up. There was one little girl that I was keeping a close eye on, mostly because of how withdrawn from the other kids she was. I noticed she was playing with a baby doll in the kitchenette, rocking it back and forth and singing to it. She then took the baby, shoved it into the play oven, and slammed the door shut. She turned around, looked straight at me, and said, "Sometimes bad babies go in timeout," in the creepiest little girl voice I've ever heard before smiling and running off. That reminded me of... I put that one in there because of
It's funny.
but...
Yeah. That made me think of, there's this one time, he was the sweetest little boy. But I don't know why he was doing it. There's a little kitchenette. There's, little like forks and knives for the dish set. And there's this sweet little Eleanor was just laying on her mat reading her book. And he comes over with the kitchen knife and he's walking so slow as he can, going, "Heh, heh, heh." And she goes, "No!" I was like,
God.
what did you watch Halloween? What are you doing? Like,
Psycho? Like...
stop. No. We're not playing that. Whatever you're playing, stop it.
Okay. Next one is kind of long. Trigger warning for talks of self-harm. My father tells me the story of my childhood every once in a while. When I was around 6 years old, my dad's best friend ended his life. We'll call him Joe for the sake of the story. Obviously, it was a very rough and emotional time for my dad. Joe was my dad's best man at his wedding, the one guy who was always there for him. After my dad got married, he and my mother left Joe and the town they were in to start a life outside the town they grew up in. After years of moving around California, the family eventually moved to Utah, where my father worked for a successful internet business. Joe stayed behind in Washington. Because my family were so far away from their old life with Joe, there wasn't a lot of foresight or warning that Joe intended on ending his life. Joe's sister apparently had been blaming Joe's wife for her brother's ending. Joe and his wife drank a lot of booze, and probably as a result, fought a lot. My father also said that they were a passionate couple. Yes, they would fight often, but he hardly knew two other individuals who were so completely in love. For this reason, he didn't believe it. A few days after Joe ended his life, his widow called up my father sobbing about how she thought it was her fault. After about an hour of trying to console her, he told her, if there was a way for me to talk to Joe right now, I guarantee you that he could tell you that he loved you and that it wasn't your fault that he ended his life. Crying, she still didn't believe him, but she thanked him for the kind words and let my father go. My dad had obviously been distraught after that hysteric conversation. He had been down in his office for a while, and he decided to come up and check on his kids while making a pot of coffee to take his mind off things. We were all supposed to be napping, and he thought he'd peek his head into our rooms and make sure we were safe, maybe to try to have a little smile and brightness added to his day. Sure enough, when my dad got to my room, I was fast asleep on my bed. He went to my brother's room, and he was also sleeping. Finally, he checks on my sister, who is sleeping as snugly as an angel. Smugly as an angel?
Just like...
He decides to go back towards my room and into the kitchen to make some coffee. As he walks by my room, he notices a whimper. He turns around and enters my room, where he finds me weeping. I was 5 years old, so the way that I was crying seemed odd to him. Normally, a 5-year-old would cry drastically over dramatically. I wasn't. I was sitting up on the side of my bed, weeping. My dad enters my room and says, Maddie, what's up? Why are you crying? It's then that I stop crying for a moment, look up at him with teary eyes and say, Rick, it's not her fault. I love her. It's not her fault. With that, I stopped crying, rolled over back onto my bed, and fell swiftly back asleep. Needless to say, my dad shit his pants.
That's crazy.
That's creepy. That's so creepy.
Oh my God. Because, like, they were asleep. How would they know?
Yeah, no, it was like literally they were asleep, and so the spirit of Joe was like, let me see which one I can get in really quickly, and he was like,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
jumped in. But it's really sad, but that was really creepy.
Yeah.
I would be like, for the rest of the time, as my kid, I'd be like, hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Are you in there?
Yeah. He's like, Joe? Yeah, anytime they're asleep.
Joe! Joe! Like, huh?
That's not my name.
Yeah.
I'm Sam.
All right,
Yeah.
last one. When my daughter was around 4 or 5, we lived in a house that had been converted into 3 separate apartments. We lived in the basement portion. Because of the way they converted the house, there was a small recess area under the stairway that had formed a small closet or storage space in her room. One night, while she was getting ready for bed, I overheard her talking to someone in her room. I poked my head in and asked if she was calling for me. In her words, she said, No, I was talking to the little boy who lives in my closet. He's dead.
Oh. Okay, sweetie.
Yeah.
Great. You're going to go to church in the morning.
And we're going to move next week.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fine? Yep. That's
Oh
it.
my God, I hate that.
And
He's dead.
He's dead. There's probably there's like so many more. Like, this one said, I jokingly asked, what's the best way to get a girlfriend? My 7-year-old daughter's response, tell her to be my girlfriend or she'll never see her parents again.
Okay, so we're going to have that kid maybe talk to a few people.
Yep. Somebody else. So I shouldn't throw him in the fire, my 3-year-old daughter said, holding her baby brother for the first time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. This is what...
Why don't you just give that baby back?
Yeah. right here.
And that's like literally this whole thread is just people commenting. After reading through most of these, I've come to the conclusion that imaginary friends are in fact dead people.
You know what? Yeah. Mm-hmm. My 3-year-old daughter stood next to her newborn baby brother, looked at him for a while, and then turned and looked at me and said, Daddy, it's a monster. We should bury it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to sleep. There isn't anything under your bed. He's behind you now.
Oh, oh my God, the way I would like shit my pants. No. Mm-mm.
Yep. 5-year-old mommy, when you die, I want to put you in a glass jar so I can keep you and see you forever. To which the 6-year-old responds, that's stupid. Where are you going to find a jar that big?
I was like, you know what? That's a little bit sweet. Because what is an urn? You know?
What is an urn? And you know what? That should be a learning lesson right there. Sweetie, actually, there are these things called urns.
Yeah.
Now, what you'll do is you'll take my body and you'll burn it to ash.
Mhm.
It'll fit into this little jar.
Yeah. If you're lucky, you might get a tooth in there. Did I ever tell you, this is like completely off tangent, but it has to do with ashes. When my grandpa passed away, they had him cremated and we were going to spread his ashes on this mountainside. And to be fair, I think this story is funny. I've been told by multiple people that it's not funny.
Uh-huh.
My aunts and my uncles, they're like spreading the ashes, very emotional, and they like kind of throw it up in the air, and then a gust of wind catches, and it all just blows back onto them. So they're like coughing.
It's really funny.
So like me and my aunt Melissa were like dying laughing because like I don't really want to. I understand the sentimental value of it. I don't actually want to hold the ashes and throw them in the air. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'll let you guys do that.
Yeah.
Melissa was the same way. I'm okay. I'll let you do that. And then
Yeah,
it was so funny. It was so funny.
that's really funny.
Yeah. Thank you for thinking it was funny.
I would also laugh pretty hard and be like, damn, he just wanted to kiss you guys goodbye one more time.
Literally.
He's
He's always
embrace
a
you
part of you
guys.
now because he's literally in your lungs.
It's like, oh my God, there's a scene in a movie that I'm thinking of where like somebody gets covered in like ash of a person and they like open their mouth and it like I don't know.
Yeah. There's some movie where they're like carrying him around in their ash in a coffee can and someone is like, yeah, you want coffee?
I feel like I vaguely remember that
I
too.
don't remember what that is. Yeah. Anyway, damn, kids really do say the darndest things.
Yeah, it really makes you reconsider everything.
Mhm.
But you know who we haven't heard enough from? Our listeners. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share us. You can find us anywhere that you listen to podcasts, Amazon, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Listen to us everywhere, and please leave a comment and like and follow do all of those things. You can also find us on all of the social media platforms at what was that _ the pod. And we also have a Reddit if you would like to follow that and share your own story on there. Same thing. What was that _ the pod? Or if you would like to, you can email us your own stories at whatwasthat.thepod@gmail.com.
So honestly, I am still stewing on it, but maybe being child-free wouldn't be so bad. You know, at least there's puppies. They can't talk back.
Yeah, they can. Belly's talking right now. Don't you hear that? Wait, what was that?